Alright, this is part 2 of the 97 Astrovan, the spark plugs. I decided to take a break after about an hour and a half. Sometimes I just need to get away from the jobs because these are a pain in the butt. Well, you'll notice that on our next part that we actually have to take out the doghouse from inside the cabin area, I guess you could call it. It's right underneath the dash. I have another video that we've already done that on, so I'll put a link down in the description so you can just click on that one, watch that one, or you can just find it in our channel. But so I'm going to go ahead and take you on the inside. I'm going to show you how to remove the spark plugs, how to reinstall them. I'm not going to show you how to remove the doghouse because I already have another video that we've created on that. It's actually got a little better lighting than what we can produce here in the garage. It's kind of nighttime. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have 3 more plugs to replace. We've already, on our last video, we've replaced the 2 plugs on the passenger side. I believe it's number 6 cylinder and number 5. And then we did one here on the driver's side that I believe is the very front one, which is like number 4 cylinder. Now we're going to go and replace the other 3 spark plugs that we have to get from inside the interior. So we'll go in and get started on that. Then I'm going to take my extension that I just showed you. I'm going to bring that up way over to the spark plug. And it locks right into position. Then I'm going to zip that off. Alright, now we're going to put the new spark plug in. Like I said, I've put a little WD-40 on the spark plug threads just to kind of help so that it'll get started. Because I can't see anything what I'm doing here. I'm just doing it all by feel. Okay, and without that wobbly, you cannot do this job. Like I've said on the other spark plugs, make sure you buy that wobbly and that extension before you try to do this. Otherwise you're just wasting your time. And if you can see the angle that I have on that, that's almost a 45-degree angle, and without that wobbly, you're dead in the water. Now the reason I took the inside pumpkin apart is because I have to put the spark plug wire back on, and the only way to really do that, because I can't get my hand up in here, see, this is as far as I can go, I have to do that from above. Alright, so here's our spark plug wire. There's really no easy way to do this other than you just got to kind of take your hand, bring this down, and just finagle it into place. Once I get it lined up, then I'll go down underneath where the tire is and kind of push it on from there. We got the boot kind of in a position, so what I'm going to do is just take this long screwdriver and just kind of snug it in. I can't really get my hand up there. It's very hard to even get a video camera up there. So hopefully these are helpful for you. Okay, and then just kind of position that into place. And all that's left, I got the boot on, the spark plug wire. I'm just going to put these spark plugs wires in their connector here, snap at, and then this side's done. So we've replaced all 3 of those spark plugs. Now we have 2 more to do on this other side. Alright, I'm going to show you what the gap is on these. I've got my feeler gauges set at 60 thousandths. So I pull out the factory ones here. They're set right at 60 thousandths. So I will take my aftermarket plug, put that right in there, and make sure they're gapped right at 60 thousand as well. Alright, our next plug is this middle plug right here, right by the gas pedal. Okay, now you really can't access it from here, but you only have to take this off so that you can get to the spark plug wire. Alright, and then we're going to come up from underneath here where the wheelhouse is. I've already got the socket on there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just try to bring you guys up in there so you can see. That's where the socket wrench is right there. Okay, so it's basically coming in from the fender liner behind this little bushing up into the spark plug, and I've already broke it loose. I'm just going to zip it off. Okay, I've got it removed. Now I'm just going to pull out the spark plug, and there it goes on the ground. Okay, now I got my new spark plug on. Now I put a little WD-40 on the spark plug, like I've said before. Very important to do on these. So I'm trying to get the camera in there so you can see. These are really difficult. All these plugs are really challenging, okay? So I'm going to try to get that in position without it falling out. Okay, and there it goes. It's threading in. We lucked out on that one. I'm just going to lock it down. Alright, now we got to put the spark plug wire on. I've showed you before. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to try to use that to position my spark plug as close as I can. Alright, now I'm underneath here, so I'm yelling at you guys so you can hear me. So I'm trying to just position this the best I can with my little screwdriver. Okay? It's really the only way you can do it. And I got that in lined up, and then I'll just shove it into place. We're good to go. But there's the spark plug boot right there. Okay? So let me see if I can zoom in on it. And you just have to kind of finagle it into place. Now we got to do the same thing on this side right here. We got to remove the spark plug wire and get the spark plug out. But it's really hard to get the camera up in there. So I'm just going to do the best that I can, and it's like a fast forward clip, I guess, because it's really hard to get you in this next clip. So we'll come back when it's all done. Alright, so I got it out. Now how I did this, I came up from underneath the engine and just took this thing, if you can see it, and I just kind of pried it out to get that spark plug out of position, or spark plug wire. Now I can put my wrench on it. I'm putting the new spark plug back in. Like I said, I put a little WD-40 on the threads. Very important step, because it just helps it start to thread into place. You don't want to cross thread these, because you're on such an angle. If you cross thread it, you're screwed. And you have to pull the engine out, pull the heads off. You don't want to go that route. So just lube up the spark plug with just a couple squirts of WD-40. It'll really help put everything into position. Okay, so there we are, nice and tight. Alright, and we'll put the spark plug wire on and we'll be all done. Now I'm underneath the car. To get that boot on, I need to slide that little heat shield out of the way. Get the spark plug positioned. Now I'm doing this all from underneath the van. Once I get that into the position that I need, then I can just kind of push it on and push this heat shield on at the same time. Then I can take my angled screwdriver and push it on the rest of the way. Okay, we're all done with the van. Wanted to kind of show you a couple little tools that we use to do this. You've seen them in the video. This is a 6-inch 3/8 extension. We also used a 12-inch 3/8 extension and a 12-inch extension with a wobbly nut on the end of it. And we also used this wobbly. I'm going to show you a little bit one that's a little easier to see. This one I just taped it because it makes it a little bit more rigid, so it's not as loose. Yeah, that's loose. That's why I tape it. And then I just used the 5/8 socket for the spark plug. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to share a couple things that I use to do this job. You've seen this several times through the video. It's probably going to be a 2-part video. This is a tool that I custom made and I love it. It works great for this job. Just a standard screwdriver. I heated it up with the torch, bent it, let it cool, put it in some water, hardened it. It's been a great tool. I've used it for a lot of things. And then just a standard 3/8 extension with a long shaft on it to break the spark plugs loose. Okay? Anyway, this job not very easy. It took me about 4.5 hours to do this job. You got to make sure that you have the right wobblies and the right extensions, or don't try this job. It took enough time that I had to break this into 2 different videos. I usually try to keep everything in one video, but because it took so long, pretty much accessed everything from the wheelhouse, but I did have to take the pumpkin out, because the reason we have to do that is because we got to be able to get the spark plug wires off and get them finagled, and we kind of have to be able to have some light up there in the pumpkin area. Some people call it the doghouse. That has to be removed. So also watch that video. I'll put that in the description of this video. That shows how to remove the doghouse. If you like this video, please let me know. I'm trying to do these new videos for you guys. We have Astro Quake right here. I'll kind of give you a status update on this. By the time I launch this video, we'll be up to date on Astro Quake.